Welcome to Polygon.com. I'm Charlie Hall, and I'm joined today by the founder and creative director of the Playwood Project, Michael Rud Jakobsen. How are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us. I've got on the screen here today and something that arrived in my inbox just yesterday, and this is called Wartile. And this is a game that's actually on Kickstarter, well, right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's we just started 2 days ago. It's actually we are ending our second day today, so it's really exciting.
It's not all the time that we get the pleasure of such a fully functional demo when stuff goes up onto Kickstarter. For whatever reason, it doesn't seem as common as you might think. But this has got at least a couple of good playable levels so far. So tell me and tell the viewers on the YouTubes, what is this that we're looking at?
Yeah, Wartile. It's a real-time strategy game. And maybe we actually would like to call it a time-based strategy game because it kind of lends small mechanics from the turn-based games, as you know, and it's tabletop inspired. We were really keen on making something that looked and felt like a tabletop game or a board game with miniature figures and small tabletop landscapes. So the textural feel of the game was very important for us.
Well, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm an old board game guy myself. I got to ask you, how much do you like Heroscape?
Yeah, but actually, it's maybe quite embarrassing. I didn't know Heroscape when we started developing this.
No way!
It came from some guys from the community. They linked and say, "Hey, this is just exactly like Heroscape," and of course, it's just like, "Oh, yes, this is exactly what we are trying to do." But of course, I mean, you often realize in the doing creative stuff that doing something for the first time rarely happens. You will always be second or number third. But Heroscapes looks amazing. I mean, it really looks
well,
amazing.
It does, but it's a venerable franchise, and I believe it's actually out of production right now. I actually know some of the folks that helped to build and design it and make it quite famous. But Wartile really functions very differently. So often when I sit down with a tabletop-inspired computer game, it's painfully boring, Michael. This is not boring. It's not tedious. You're always doing something. Tell me a little bit about kind of your design goals with keeping the action flowing.
Yes. It's actually a goal or a vision it comes from because when we did the first drawings, it came like it was a memory from my childhood. I'm a single child, and I spent a lot of time playing around alone. And I did a lot of playing around with the miniature figures and creating landscapes in the backyard. And you're going with the figures, going, yeah, cool, and he hits him, yeah, I defend from here, and they have you put in characters into these figures. They get personalities, but still, there's still figures you're moving around in this landscape you make up yourself, with that experience in mind, Wartile had to be something that was constantly moving, constantly going on, and what we could, because it's a PC game, we could replace or not replace, we could enforce the imagination of the player. So in tabletop games, the player often imagine all these things going on, like they move a bit, they have some personality. But in a computer game, we could actually put that into the game and still have this feeling that you're moving around with these figures and in this landscape. So keep this real time experience going, but still have, with the time based, you see on the figurine basis, there's a small line moving when you move.
Yeah,
them.
that white
Yes.
ring that
Yeah.
kind of count. It's like a cooldown timer for when you can grab the piece again and move it again.
Yes, exactly, and that we implemented to change the pace of a real time strategy game, so that you were forced to move them like small pieces, one at a time. And also we don't introduce so many pieces at the same time. So you have in this map three to start with, and you get four. I think maybe we'll experiment with a bit or a few more, but it very much depend on the design of the map. But you're kind of move like, oh, you move one piece at a time and have to think about where to place him, because you kind of you kind of stuck there for a few seconds. Yes.
Well, so much of good tabletop design, I feel, is translating information about what's on the table and what the rules are and what the status of all of your forces are in a good tabletop war game. And it really feels like you're taking a lot of that good tabletop design and using it to really reduce the heads up display here that players are forced to deal with. Everything's really written right onto the figures themselves.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, design-wise, that have been a struggle, because we didn't want, or we were trying to avoid having too much HUD or UI design on the screen, because it kind of ruined the experience of you standing and watching an actual tabletop board. Um, so the timer and health we could put into the onto the foot of the characters. That was an obvious way to do it, because when you play tabletop games, you often put down the card on the character, or below the character, around the character, and you use the card very much to show the open what you're dealing with, or what kind of rules you're playing with now, and stuff like that. Yeah, so trying to skip as much information, and then slowly add on when we get the request. I don't know how much armor I have or how much damage I do, and so on.
Another really interesting thing that I came across later in my demo sessions was there's kind of some character or miniature customization features as well. You're actually unlocking new weapons, new armor, new gear for your figures. Tell me a little bit more about the plans for that as the game evolves.
Yes, as it is now. For example, you have the Viking warrior. He's the one bashing his shield now, and with the red cape. He is a medium character. That exactly figurine. So he has like medium armor on it, and that you can actually change by customizing. But what you can change is a lot of add-ons or armor pieces, we call it, like the helmet, shoulder pads, something for your arms and legs. You can also change the shield and his weapon. And these will, of course, modify his stats in different ways, but it will also change the look of him and his appearance. And a lot of these armors, different armors that you can unlock, that is actually thematical pieces that you will meet or you can unlock during your progression in the single player campaign. For example, for the hillside, we have something called the Winter Wolf set. So when you start killing these guys, you'll collect some armor pieces that unlock by them. And then you can collect all these armor pieces and apply them to your figurines.
That's great. So tell me a little bit more about the theme and kind of the world and the lore of Wartile. You mentioned, of course, it's Viking themed.
Yes, that's actually only the first campaign. We hope to do many
Oh,
more.
really?
Yeah. We very much see Wartile as the Wartile universe. So it's supposed to be a platform for many different cultural campaigns, small story pieces. We have something also called challenge maps, where you go and unlock your different action cards. That's the godly and tactical cards you have down in the bottom right. So we want to create this platform where we can easily attach and create new interesting battle boards of different sizes and with different types of missions. So the Viking theme is where we start, and that's what we're gonna release with, and hopefully we can follow up with a lot more interesting stuff. But as it is now, you start as the Viking. The Viking King have a dream of say reunite the Viking tribes along Scandinavia and do a conquest to England, and that's what you're gonna play. You start playing a few of these figurines. All of them have some relationship with the king, and you kind of use these figurines in the different missions, starting around the hillside, the one you just played, and then you're going to travel to the south down to Sweden, and you'll meet more grassland and forest land, hopefully, and from there you'll collect men, armor, steel, and wood to build the ships, and then you'll travel to England or the coast of England and start your
Really?
raiding
So
and plundering.
that's fantastic. So there's going to be kind of like an overworld and a resource-driven kind of almost a grand strategy-looking map kind of thing, or a campaign map, more likely.
It will look very much like the campaign map you see in the menu. So that's where we unlock all the different missions and side quests. And there you have to go up and complete some overall objectives, like these collect men, the men you need to collect from or gather from the hillside missions. And then you need wood for the ships. You're going to collect that from Sweden and Denmark. And when that's done, you travel to England.
So what's your background? How did you come to make Wartile? Are you a game developer from a larger studio, or what? Where do you come from, Michael?
Yeah, I've been developing games for more than 10 years now, but lately I was a game designer from IO Interactive, working on Kena Lynch 2 and Hitman, the new upcoming one. So I've been there for almost 7 years. I would say I have a lot of experience developing games, even at the scale of AAA games, and that have been a huge advantage for me. I think it really gives me a good background to come with, but being an indie developer is totally different. it's yeah.
Well, that's why I was really just impressed with the overall look of this game. It looks so good. Michael, I'm a tabletop guy, like I said, but I'm also a terrain guy. And your terrain, the world of this game looks absolutely beautiful. Tell me about the team that you've got helping you to develop all of these resources and these assets.
Yeah, but it's interesting because as a small indie studio, we use a lot of freelancers, so artists from all over the world. But the thing is that we try to engage them pretty personal on a personal level. So it's really important for us that when we start to cooperation with someone, that they get into the universe, and they know what we're doing and know where we are going. So mostly it's a lot of concept work, a lot of dialogue, a lot of references, talking about where we are going, and I think most of all it's just iteration on iteration on iteration. I mean, we didn't do this coastline map in first try. It has been something that have evolved over a year, I think. We have some early pictures from what we did in the beginning and then to now, and it's just a lot of, you do something, you look at it, you change it a bit, then a few weeks later, you're not so happy with it, you redo some, and that's just go on like that.
Well, it's just great. It's just smashing to see something like this that's so functional and so playable in these small vertical slices that you've shared with the press at this point. And I know that there's a demo actually that you can download at the Kickstarter as well. So I wish you a lot of luck with this project, and I hope to see more of it in the future. When are you hoping to deliver this to players?
The final version that will hopefully land in the beginning of 2017.
Awesome. Well, best of luck, and again, thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you.